The modern English word lady comes from L-A-D-A, pronounced Lada in Russian language, and this is the Indo-European goddess of love. And the reason why Lada gave birth to the words like lady or lad, L-A-D, is because every young man and every girl were seen as a reflection and the materialization of the goddess of love here on the earthly plane. Just think about just one word, but our ancestors put so much meaning into it. Well, if we spoke about lady, let's talk about gentleman as well. What's the meaning of gentleman? Thank you. Absolutely so. What does it mean, being gentle? Interestingly enough, both the word gentle and the word kind are based respectively on the roots gen, G-E-N, and kin, K-I-N. Originally, they were saying you are kind. It was an acknowledgement that we are blood related. You are so kind. I feel that you and I belong to the same tree of life, to the same family tree. Gentleman also meant the same thing. Gen is birth. This is where genesis comes from. Gen, G-E-N, genus in biology, genitals, etc. It's all about birth. So gentleman literally was the man who is not just the man on his own, but the one who is connected to his family tree, connected to life. Man connected to life was the original meaning of gentleman. So I discussed the meaning of some of the words and showed how the greatest evidence that this is how the ancient civilization actually was can be found not in stones or archaeological sites or chronicles. It can be found even in the language that we have today. And I explained all the story of how in Russia the civilization was destroyed and how all this knowledge was preserved in Siberia, and we have even historical evidence that this was really the case. This is a presentation called Reconnecting to Nature Through Spiritual Permaculture, telling you and showing you the pictures of all these dacha gardens that you read about in Anastasia books. And Dachniks, the food gardeners, were not your favorite people for no reason. Russian gardeners today, just working in their backyard or on their allotment, today produce more food than the total of commercial agriculture put together. And what it created, even when the Soviet Union collapsed, there was no famine and nobody really noticed, because people did not rely on the supermarket for their food supply. When your money, when UK and US taxpayers' money was spent on sending food aid to Russia in the early 1990s, Russia was actually more food secure than Europe. Just because people do it. And interestingly, no matter what your level of income is, people would still grow their potatoes. It also shows you the pictures and talks about this new eco-village movement that now took root in Russia and now spreading all the world. Ancient roots, modern shoots. And here I talk in greater detail about the concept of planting a seed, the way Anastasia suggested, and I show that similar rituals could be found in different cultures the world over. Of applying part of your body to your garden and understanding that if you establish this information exchange between yourself in the garden, that it will grow food specifically for you. You know, today we are here. If you live here in Brighton, your body is here. But your body is no longer from here. It's not from the local soil of this county. Part of what is now your body was 2 months ago on a banana branch in Latin America. And part of what is now your body was in a dairy in France a month ago, etc., etc., etc. So literally what now constitutes our bodies is being tracked from all over the world to become us. Our ancestors did not have this luxury, and for this reason they did not have, and the natural world does not have to the present day, many of the diseases that we have just as a consequence of separating ourselves from the life-supporting and health-enhancing natural mechanisms that are always in place out there in nature. So I explained how today's science even comes to the understanding that all these ancient rituals and the techniques similar to what Anastasia prescribed really have a very simple, even physiological or biological explanation, and it really does work this way. Creating your space of love, talking about the experiences, not only the success stories, but also the failures of Russian eco-villages, and talking about how to start making this gradual progression from where we are now to a new way of life that would be more fulfilling and would allow you more time just to enjoy life and to create your future together with your loved ones, with your family, with your community, rather than worrying over your bills coming in the mail. Recreating a garden planet. Here I talk about the power of images, and in Book 4 Anastasia talks about the science of imagery. I talk how our perception of images, no matter whether we are conscious of it or not, conditions how we start relating to the environment. As an example, I talk here about the heart with an arrow put through the heart now being seen as a symbol of love, where at the same time it's a very powerful symbol of the destruction of life. And like the cut flowers, the full flower connected with its roots, or a Christmas tree before it became a Christmas tree, as long as it is connected to the roots, it is a very powerful symbol of life and love and light. But when it's cut from the roots, it's already a dying tree or a dying flower. So I explained here how the civilizations and individuals, they express their inner world in symbols, and in turn the symbols start conditioning what they do to the world. And I trace it through history and make some suggestions of how we today can start disengaging our mind from the images of gloom and doom and 2012 or collapse of this and collapse of that. So how can we disengage our mind, even though we were brought on the news and on seeing only the negative side of things? How can we start seeing the positive side of things, and instead of fighting with the darkness, can we start creating love? And the eternal cycle of birth and fertility in nature and human experience. We gave birth to 3 children with my wife together. For the second and the third birth, we didn't even have a midwife, not mention obstetrician. Through my own experience, I saw that this magic experience describing the rites of love, of their really you're feeling that the birth of the child is not just an emergence of a new body into this world, but this is a process of transformation of a woman into a mother, the man into a father, and really creation of the sacred family, the mother, the father, and the child, as the reflection of the Trinity. And the Trinity, by the way, was also understood as the family, father, mother, and the child, as described in co-creation. So I talk about this experience and how we can turn the birthing experience into, again, this transformative event that changes your life forever, for your family, for your children, and for yourself. So I have these 7 DVDs. This is the documentary and 6 of my presentations available there, as well as the Ringing Seals books. I thank you for your attention, and I know that sitting for an hour, 20 minutes with no movement is more difficult than talking for 1 hour, 20 minutes. So let us now make a break for 20 minutes, and we'll resume. Those of you who would like to hear more and have a discussion and ask more questions, and we'll do it at 8:15, and so you can stretch and check out the books that we have here with a special discount and the DVDs.